Hello everybody, tonight we're cooking a kid-friendly dinner, which means we're going to incorporate vegetables, which we all know children won't eat just because they're vegetables. So tonight we're going to make rissoles with a twist. We're going to actually include carrot in the rissoles, which won't be too, carroty because mince will overpower that. We also got prepared here. We prepared it beforehand in the video. We have pumpkin here. We have our veggies which we're going to steam. And underneath that we have our baked potatoes. So we are going to, when the potatoes are cooked and the pumpkin is cooked, we are going to combine them to make a pumpkin mashed potato. We're also going to blend the veggies and put them in there too. But we also, for the reason we've chosen two saucepans is not only for the vegetables to steam, but because pumpkin actually cooks a lot quicker than the potatoes do. But as I said, this is a kid-friendly dinner. They won't know that you put vegetables into. So we've got about 2 kilos of mince here. We have our onions. We have 3 medium-sized carrots grated. We've all prepared this before the video. We have eggs here, as you'll see. What the eggs are for is for binding all this together. If you cook meat rolls on the stove without the eggs, they tend to fall apart. So this is actually a binding material. So they will bind together through the use of the egg. You won't actually taste the eggs, but they'll bind it together, so there'll be less chance of them falling apart while you're cooking them in the fry pans. So we'll just start by grating our mince. We have a boiler here because it's easier just to prepare this all together in a boiler. So we'll just sort of like put all the mince in there. You can sort of break it apart if you want, but I don't think it really matters. Just have it sort of through cooking other meals. So just put all my mince in there. It's defrosted, obviously. If you buy fresh mince or just pull it out of the freezer, just make sure, depending on the season, you pull it out earlier if it's in winter than it is in summer, because it actually makes a big difference. So before we add anything else, the first thing we'll add is the onions. We'll add that, which we've sort of like chopped up. And we'll just mix them in. It's a lot easier if you buy fresh fresh onions, because if you buy frozen, they're going to freeze your hands off. So it's better if everything is defrosted. So just mix them in evenly. Once you feel that the mince is evenly mixed in with the onions, you can then add your carrot, which they won't taste because it might add a bit of sweetness to the mince, but it won't have a really, well, as I said, it won't really have a carroty taste to it. So we just add that in. We want more mince than all the vegetables we put in there. But the mince should overpower the carrot. There'll just be a bit of sweetness in there. You can add barbecue and tomato sauce if you feel like you want to do that. It's just personal preference. You don't actually have to do that. So you can see we've got a fair amount of carrot and a fair amount of onion in here. We have roughly about 2 kilos in here, and I will probably add 3 to 4 eggs in, which, as I said, you won't taste. It's just a binding compound between all this. I'm just going to chuck them to the side now. You can just chuck them all in and mix them in all together. But I think for this we'll just put 4 eggs in. But if you have less, like say if you have a kilo of mince, you'd only put 2 in. It's going to get a bit messy here with these eggs. So you want like a mashy sort of consistency, because it sort of binds it all together and it makes it easier to cook things without them falling apart. Like if I find this isn't mashy enough, I will go to the fridge and grab a couple of eggs out, because you want it to bind together and not fall apart in the fry pan. So just mix this in. It does get a bit cold sometimes, especially if the eggs are just fresh out of the fridge. But you can buy chopped onions out of your local store that are frozen, but it's easier if they're not, because it's a lot easier because they're not freezing your hands off, because it gets quite cold with you if everything's a lower temperature. So I want something around this consistency. See, even now the meat is sort of binded together in chunks. That's the consistency you want it at. So we'll just grab our flour over here, plain flour, and we will make sure that's mixed in properly. Give it a few turns in the boiler. So we'll just grab, I don't know, about this much meat to make a meat roll. So just roll it. Well, you can call them rissoles too. Meat rolls, rissoles, depends what you want to call them. We call them meat rolls. So, as you can see, that's pretty well together. We just chuck it in the flour. You just make sure the flour's there's not too much flour on it. So there's our first rissole or meat roll. And we just put them on the plate till we're ready to deal with them. You can also reflour them before you put them in the fry pan. Repeat the process until you've gotten rid of all your mince. So we'll just grab about that much mince again. Your hands do get a little dirty, but don't worry about that. So we'll just re-roll that. As you roll more with the flour addition, your hands will get messy, but it'll also get a bit more sticky. But don't worry about that. So we'll just repeat this process really quickly. So we'll just chuck that back, this one in the flour, roll it, and put on the other side. So you get the gist of this one, the rolling of the meat rolls. We'll be back when the veggies are done to show you the next lot of process. Hi everybody, welcome back. We've finished rolling our meat rolls and we've let them sit for a few minutes. We're ready to put on our pumpkin, potato and veggies now. So let's start now. This one should on that one's lid. We'll just like this one. Seeming as these vegetables don't take very long, we're actually going to start cooking our meat rolls or rissoles, whatever you want to call them. And we'll get off the jet before we get this going. Hold on, the starter by itself. So let's put this back on, let it heat up for a few minutes before we put our meat rolls in. As you see, we've rolled them all. The use of the egg will actually stop them from falling apart in the fry pan. It's no guarantee that they won't fall apart, it'll just reduce the chances. You don't actually even taste the egg, as I said before, so we just as you see, we put an even amount of carrot and onion throughout. The carrot will just sweeten the meat, but that's about it. So we'll just pop them in. When you pop them in, you can either push them down or you can use a spatula to flatten them a bit. They are a bit sticky too, because of everything that we put in them. So you can put 4 or 5 in a pan, depending on what type of pan you have. And we'll just let them cook off. Now you don't want to sit here and watch us cooking for 15 minutes or more. So we'll come back when our veggies and most of our meat rolls are cooked. We'll see you soon. Hi everybody, we're back. We have most of our meat rolls cooked here. The other half is still going, which won't be very much longer. We've made the gravy already and we've strained all our vegetables. What we're going to do now is we're going to put our veggies that we steamed earlier into the blender. We also have a little bit of water in a cup here. those in there. I think it's just matter over mind. So if they can't see them, they won't know they're there. So then they won't put up a fight to eat their vegetables if they don't know they're actually there, but they're still getting all the vitamins out of them. I'm just going to put a little bit of water in to start with. We might not need all this water. We'll just put it much in and we'll just blend it a little bit. Having a bit of trouble to blend. So just put the rest of it. It's having a bit of trouble to blend all these together. So. Oh, it was a bit at the top that it's missed. Oops. You might just grab a little bit more if you don't like. We just got a bit more water in there because it's just the last veggies up top that it's struggling with. So we've blended them together. Now it doesn't matter that we've watered them down a bit because what we're going to do is we're going to put them in with our potatoes and also combine them with the pumpkin because everybody likes potatoes. And they don't put up a fuss eating that. And the pumpkin you won't really taste in the potatoes either. We also have a bit of, like I said, we made the gravy up, and that's if they just don't like the combination. They won't taste it even more so because of the gravy. So there's our pumpkin. We boiled it. We have our potato masher here. And we've got our chunks here. You just pick these up. Now when mixing these, you will not need a lot of milk, just extra butter, because there is a lot of moisture in the pumpkin. So you'll only need a cupful of milk, maybe 2. As you see, these haven't really broken either, so they're still combined, which is why we wanted the egg in there. These won't be very much longer. So it'd still be a bit rare in the middle. You want to let that meat fully cook, so we'll just let them cook a few minutes longer. So we're just going to mash these together. A lot of kids don't like pumpkin, but there isn't really that strong taste of pumpkin when it's mixed with mashed potato. So there's really no problem getting them to eat it usually. If they do have problems, you can always run with a bit of ice cream. I'm pretty sure that would work. Pull this off. Put that in there too. So that's our sort of pureed vegetables there. And they won't even know once this is mixed in with the blender that it's actually there. So we have a tablespoon here and our butter. We probably only need about 2 tablespoons. Just want to blend that in first before we add our milk. Make sure we switch the switch on first. Might help. Now you see it's pretty mushy like it is, so we only need a very, very small amount of milk. That's probably more than enough. Might seem like it's not a lot, But with the amount of moisture all these vegetables and the pumpkin hold, it's more than enough. That's mixed all in properly. If they ask you what it is, because potatoes are white and we know that, just say it's magic potatoes. Usually they don't push it further than that. So yeah, so you can see they're creamy. The orange tinges from the pumpkin. You can see the little bits of vegetable in there. Once it's covered with gravy, they shouldn't see it too much. So we'll come back when we're ready to plate up, which won't be long. Welcome back everybody. We've dished up our food. Mightn't look like a huge portion, but remember we actually added those vegetables into the potatoes. So here it is. We've got, depending on how much everyone eats and how they like their gravy, and we also have some leftover meat rolls, rissoles, what are you going to call them, for munchies later on. Well, that's us for tonight. Good night.